So in this demo, we're going to talk about the introduction on SPFx CLI for scaffolding your SPFx solution. So SharePoint Framework, super widely used worldwide. We're going to talk about that one in a second. SPFx CLI is the new scaffolding tool, and we're going to actually do a live demo on that one today. So it's replacing the old Yeoman generator. Not yet. This is still in preview. We're going to talk a bit about the timelines as part of the presentation together with Alex as well. Now, quick recap, and the animation is a bit off, but let me actually go here. SharePoint Framework is the most widely used extensibility platform within Microsoft 365. You can use agentic coding tool, you can use many other things. We do have more than tens of millions of Microsoft 365 users which are using SharePoint Framework powered capabilities every single day. And that's custom SharePoint Framework powered capabilities. Now, in Microsoft, we use SharePoint Framework as well. So if you're using SharePoint Online or many of the capabilities in Microsoft Teams, you add in the UX level, you are actually using SharePoint Framework, which is being used by Microsoft engineers to build the experience. So that's kind of the SharePoint Framework in a nutshell, if you're not super familiar with that one. Different capabilities across Microsoft 365, single sign-on, automatic hosting, super important thing. You don't need to worry about any of the complexity of hosting your code. It is all taken care of for you. And you have that full IT governance, so you can control what kind of capabilities are available for you. Now, in this case, today we're going to talk about the new CLI. So we did publish this repo a few weeks back as part of the release candidate, I think release candidate 0 for SPFx 1.23. CLI means command line interface, and this is basically a new command line or terminal tool to create your SharePoint Framework solution. So you can basically use the command line commands to create a different solutions as a starting point, and then you start implementing your actual business logic on top of those solutions. The main difference for the Yeoman generator side is that this is fully open source. It is in GitHub. You can actually access the source code. You can have a look on how it's built. You can also contribute as part of that contribution as well. So if you have something on the templates, something on the tool which you don't like, you can actually submit a pull request or submit an issue directly in GitHub, and then we'll follow up on your issues and reports based on your input for whatever you're finding. AKMS SPF /SPFx/CLI will redirect you to the GitHub repo where you can find more of the details how to get started with this one if you like. It is still in preview. It's going to be a preview in 1.23. It's planned to go actually to general availability later this year, so most likely in autumn, but we'll give you more details on that one. Now, the key points and the differences on this one, it is really easy to actually scaffold your solution. Scaffolding solution means that you're actually getting a starting point of your solution. So basically creating the baseline structure for Visual Studio Code or whatever is a chosen developer platform, and then you start expanding that default project. All of the different options which we have had available in the past are still available in the SPFx CLI. The main kind of a core differences are, for example, following. So you can actually use your own templates. So the default templates are available from Microsoft, which you can also contribute. You can submit changes on those. But if your company wants to use a specific set of templates which are polished and fine-tuned within your company policies, you can actually do that with CLI. So you can have local templates which are offline or custom templates in a folder within your local folder, which I think Alex is going to show today, or you can point into your own custom GitHub repo, which can be actually also secured. So we do support GitHub Enterprise securing of this repo. So you can then connect to that repo. It has your company templates, and still you can use the CLI. And basic idea there is that you can then automate all of your scripts and continuous deployment and integration testing with the CLI as well. So you can really easily take advantage of the CLI experience. Now, let's then jump on the demo. So Alex is going to share his screen, and he's going to walk through how this looks in practice, a few different practicalities on getting started, and what are the different options within CLI.
Thank you, Vesa. And let me share my screen. When you can see it.
I see it.
Yes, we can see it. Take it away.
Awesome. Yeah, so as Vesa mentioned, like the idea here is pretty similar to Yeoman generator. You're still using terminal to create your solutions. To start on your machine, you will still do something like npm install -g at Microsoft/SPFx CLI. This is how you get the CLI on your machine. And when it's done, you can start working with it. So you will have SPFx as a command. I will start with help to show you what's available right now. And while it's thinking, basically right now we only have 2 commands. One of them is list templates that will show what templates are available for you to create solutions. And the second one is SPFx create. It's the main entry point that you will use to actually create your provision or scaffold your SharePoint Framework solutions. So let me start with the SPFx list templates to show you that we actually have all the templates that we had in Yeoman generator. We already have them in our new SPFx CLI. So as you can see, for web part, for example, we have no framework, web part React. We also have web part minimal. We have library. We have all types of extensions. We have adaptive cart extensions. So everything is basically in there. Now let me clear this out and let me actually create the SPFx solution using one of the existing templates that are provided by Microsoft. So the command here is pretty simple: SPFx create template. I want to use web part React. The library name is basically the solution name that will be used for the your SPFx solution, and component name is hello world. In that case, is basically how will the web part be named. So let me do that. It should be pretty fast because I'm not using npm I or any other package manager, so I'm not installing solution packages. Sorry, I just want to show you what is being scaffolded. So as you can see, it's basically the same as you're getting with the Yeoman generator. So we have this hello world web part created. We have our components. We have like standard class component hello world. Everything familiar, everything nice. So now let me clear that again. And what I also want to show you, which is a cool feature that Vesa has already mentioned. So you can use your custom templates. In my case, I'm using local source, so I have my templates on my machine. And what I registered in there, I have a new template called WebPart React FC, which is a function component, React function component. This is one of the most voted templates that we should have inside SPFx. But right now, even if we don't have it, you can create it. It's not a big deal. So let me do that. And again, I'm not installing any packages, so it's like instantaneous. Let me go here. The structure is still the same, but if I go to components now, I have this hello world FC TSX, and this is the function component. So basically, cool. You just create, you registered your template for your organization, or you can even contribute it to our repo as well. And you can create whatever you want. Like if you need some extra components, for example, you want to use React PNP, React components in your web parts, you can do that as part of the template as well and use them right away in there. So pretty rich functionality, and because it's open sourced, it will be evolved more than Yeoman generator. So yeah, looking forward to make it actually release and not just a preview.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alex, on that one. So really cool. Let me go back on slides and do one more slide and talk a bit about the timelines and next steps and everything else. So the SPFx CLI, let me actually go one more slide forward so you can actually see that the details more efficiently. So you can get really easily started. You can already today run npm install at Microsoft/SPFx CLI, and after that, the SPFx is a command to actually call this CLI. So then you can actually start using that. You can start testing things. We definitely want your feedback on this one because it is a relatively big change. So we've been using the Yeoman generator model for quite a few years. Now we're transitioning to our own CLI. So we want to make sure that everything is working properly. But there's a lot of lot of benefit out of this one. Also, if we think about the future of agentic coding, everything else, and automations with AI, we can actually use this kind of a CLI more efficiently in that model rather than the Yeoman generator, because we can really streamline that experience, and then we can control, for example, skills and everything else, what we're planning to do here in the future. But let's talk about that one in the future steps. So this one technically is not part of the client-side release schedule or packages, so we can actually roll out faster features, faster updates on SPFx CLI, rather than always waiting for 122, 123, 124, 125. But we do want to kind of bundle the messaging and releases, especially general availability and previews, as part of those big announcements, so you're up to date on what's happening. But you will actually see update on this one all the time. So we do release new versions almost on a weekly basis right now, and together with our engineering team, which is awesome. So right now we're planning to actually make this available, generally available, in fall 2026. I think right now it's in August-September timeframe with 125 schedule. That is roughly the timeline what we're planning to do. And with that release, that will be the last version of Yeoman generator being updated. Going forward, there will only update then the CLI version or the SPFx CLI with your options to contribute on the templates and also on the commands and everything else what you can actually suggest there. So really, really cool. And again, like I mentioned, I'm super excited actually to see the custom templates, all of the contribution, all of that stuff like Alex was showing today with functional React templates. Again, one of the number one requests for some people. Some people want to have functional, some people want to have the classic way of doing React. It's okay. Both options will be then available, and you can actually absolutely do that. You can introduce whatever the new feature and preferences are in the future. You can introduce your templates which the CLI is capable of then doing, which is super, super cool. Awesome stuff there. But again, that's a quick intros on the CLI. Thank you, Alex, for the live demo. Please test it out. AKMS SPFx CLI. Our engineering team is really looking into feedback on this one, and we really want to make sure we didn't want to rush with this. We were initially looking into getting it out this spring, but we didn't want to rush around the schedule because it is a relatively big change from the Yeoman generator. Well, technically it's not a massive change, but conceptually and philosophically it's a big change. So we want to make sure that you will be happy about whatever we are releasing as a starting point, as a general availability, and then we'll roll out in the future based on your feedback. But that's it for the SPFx CLI.